In section 1, we made a contextual scrutiny of the 8 paths of mental states listed under Cittānupassanā of the Satipatthana Suttas in Digha Nikaya and Majjhima Nikaya. We saw that these 8 paths of mental states are used most of the time, in fact for more than 90% of the time, in the context of reading other people's minds. And yet in Cittānupassanā, this is the list that is given for observing one's own mind. So the question is whether it is appropriate for this list to be in this Cittānupassanā or not. And we have already discussed that, and you have already given your presentations on that topic. And then in section 2, we went on to explore more passages found in different suttas where mental states to be observed within one's own mind are mentioned by the Buddha himself or by his disciples. We noticed that these mental states do not exactly correspond to the 8 paths that are found in Cittānupassanā, although you could say that there are probably overlaps. And of course, it is obvious that it is more comprehensive and covers a wide range of situations in which a monk, a practitioner, is supposed to observe his mind. In particular, in the first extract, AN 10.51, called Sacitta Sutta, it is said that if you are not skilled in the ways of other people's mind, then you should train yourself to be skilled in your own mind. And then there is a list of 10 pairs of mental qualities to look out for in order to attain mastery over your own mind. There are also other mental states that I mentioned in the other suttas, then they are definitely more comprehensive than what was covered in the first section. And so now you are well prepared to go on to section 3, where the discussion topic is to arrive at a conclusion on the nature and scope of Cittānupassanā. So you are supposed to make an objective tabulation of the mental states found in all these excerpts covered in sections 1 and 2, and present your expanded understanding of the nature and scope of Cittānupassanā. We have actually provided you with a template in PowerPoint to tabulate these mental states. We have only given you a few tables, but feel free to duplicate these tables so that you can key in your entries. So your job is not just to tabulate, but to analyze after you have done the tabulation. So when you tabulate, then you can see certain patterns, and you can get a very objective overview of all the mental states that are covered in these 2 sections. And then also with the help of what can be found in the appendix, you could try to arrive at your expanded understanding of the nature and scope of Cittānupassanā. The appendix shows you a tabulation of different mental states that were proposed by the scholar monks of different Buddhist traditions in ancient times. And you can see very clearly that they were also not in perfect agreement on what these 8 paths or more of mental states should be for one to practice Cittānupassanā. Certainly, there are some which are very universal. Everybody is agreed upon them. The consensus is there. But others are not. So they vary from one text to another text. So I hope that by looking at all these data, you will be able to arrive at an expanded understanding of the nature and scope of Cittānupassanā. And perhaps you might also want to suggest or propose an alternative list for Cittānupassanā under Satipatthana. All right, so I hope that you will enjoy our discussion and share with us your findings later in the afternoon. So I will see you all later.